Muammar Gaddafi, the former leader of Libya, remains a controversial figure in history. While his reign was marred by controversy, it is important to acknowledge the positive contributions he made to the country. Gaddafi implemented various policies and initiatives that significantly transformed Libya's economic, social, and infrastructural landscape. However, despite these achievements, he ultimately faced betrayal and downfall. This video aims to shed light on the greatest things Gaddafi did for Libya and explore the complexities surrounding his legacy. During Gaddafi's rule, Libya experienced notable economic advancements. The nation's oil revenues soared, providing the means to invest in critical infrastructure projects and industries. The construction of roads, hospitals, schools, and housing complexes improved the quality of life for many Libyans. Gaddafi also prioritized social reforms, championing gender equality and empowering marginalized groups. Land reforms were implemented to provide opportunities for previously disadvantaged communities. Furthermore, Gaddafi placed significant emphasis on healthcare and education. He established free healthcare and education systems, resulting in higher literacy rates and improved access to medical facilities. Libyan citizens benefited from comprehensive medical services, ensuring their well-being. Education was made accessible to all, enabling young Libyans to gain knowledge and skills necessary for their personal growth and the nation's development. Infrastructure development was a key aspect of Gaddafi's vision for Libya. The Great Man-Made River, one of his most ambitious projects, brought fresh water to many regions, addressing water scarcity issues. Transportation networks were expanded, connecting previously isolated areas and facilitating trade and communication across the country. These infrastructural improvements laid the foundation for economic growth and social progress. Gaddafi also played a significant role in promoting African unity. He advocated for a united Africa, pushing for the formation of the African Union. Through financial support and collaboration, Gaddafi helped strengthen other African nations, fostering a sense of solidarity and cooperation on the continent. His efforts aimed to create a unified Africa that could stand strong in the global arena. Unfortunately, Gaddafi's legacy took a dramatic turn as he faced betrayal and downfall. The Arab Spring uprising, coupled with international intervention, led to internal conflicts and the overthrow of Gaddafi's regime. The consequences of his overthrow were significant, plunging Libya into a state of instability and hindering the progress made during his rule. In conclusion, despite the eventual betrayal and downfall, it is crucial to recognize the greatest things Gaddafi did for Libya. His economic advancements, social reforms, healthcare and education initiatives, infrastructure development, and promotion of African unity transformed the nation in many ways. However, the complexities of Gaddafi's legacy cannot be ignored, as Libya continues to grapple with the aftermath of his rule. Gaddafi's achievements for Libya. Muammar Gaddafi, the former leader of Libya, implemented numerous policies and initiatives that brought about significant advancements for the country. Despite the controversy surrounding his rule, it is important to acknowledge the positive contributions he made to Libya's economic, social, and infrastructural development. Under Gaddafi's leadership, Libya experienced remarkable economic advancements. The nation's oil revenues soared, allowing for investments in critical infrastructure projects and the development of various industries. Gaddafi's focus on diversifying the economy helped reduce the country's dependence on oil and created employment opportunities for Libyans. The construction of roads, hospitals, schools, and housing complexes improved the living standards of many citizens. In addition to economic progress, Gaddafi implemented social reforms that aimed to create a more egalitarian society. He championed gender equality and worked to empower marginalized groups. Land reforms were initiated to provide fair access to land and resources for previously disadvantaged communities. These efforts helped bridge societal gaps and promote a more inclusive Libya. Gaddafi's commitment to healthcare and education significantly transformed the well-being of Libyan citizens. He established free healthcare services, ensuring that every Libyan had access to quality medical care. The healthcare system became more comprehensive, with the establishment of hospitals, clinics, and medical centers across the country. Similarly, Gaddafi prioritized education, making it accessible to all. He introduced free education at all levels and invested in schools, universities, and vocational training centers. These initiatives resulted in increased literacy rates and equipped the younger generation with the necessary skills for personal growth and national development. Infrastructure development was another area where Gaddafi left a lasting impact. One of his most ambitious projects, the Great Man-Made River, brought fresh water to vast regions of Libya, effectively addressing water scarcity challenges. Additionally, Gaddafi oversaw the expansion of transportation networks, connecting previously isolated areas and facilitating trade and communication. These infrastructure improvements not only improved the quality of life for Libyans but also laid the foundation for sustained economic growth. Furthermore, Gaddafi played a significant role in promoting African unity. He advocated for a united Africa and worked towards the formation of the African Union. Gaddafi provided financial support to other African nations and encouraged cooperation and solidarity among African states. His efforts aimed to create a stronger, more self-reliant Africa that could assert itself on the global stage. Despite these notable achievements, Gaddafi ultimately faced betrayal and downfall. The Arab Spring uprising, combined with international intervention, led to internal conflicts and the overthrow of his regime. The consequences of his downfall have had a profound impact on Libya, plunging the country into a state of instability and hindering the progress made during his rule. In conclusion, Gaddafi's achievements in Libya cannot be overlooked. His economic advancements, social reforms, investment in healthcare and education, infrastructure development, and promotion of African unity brought significant positive changes to the country. However, the subsequent betrayal and downfall highlight the complex legacy that Gaddafi left behind, with Libya continuing to grapple with the aftermath of his rule. Betrayal and downfall. Muammar Gaddafi, the former leader of Libya, accomplished several notable achievements during his rule. However, despite his contributions to the country, he ultimately faced betrayal and a dramatic downfall. Understanding the factors that led to his betrayal and the consequences of his overthrow is crucial to comprehending the complexities surrounding Gaddafi's legacy. The Arab Spring, a wave of uprisings across the Middle East and North Africa, played a significant role in Gaddafi's downfall. In early 2011, inspired by pro-democracy movements in Tunisia and Egypt, Libyans took to the streets demanding political reforms. The protests quickly escalated into a full-scale rebellion, with opposition forces seeking to overthrow Gaddafi's regime. The Arab Spring presented a turning point for Libya, sparking a chain of events that would alter the nation's trajectory. International intervention further contributed to Gaddafi's downfall. The United Nations Security Council authorized a military intervention to protect Libyan civilians, leading to the involvement of NATO forces. The intervention aimed to enforce a no-fly zone and protect civilians from Gaddafi's forces. However, the mission evolved into a broader campaign to assist rebel forces in their fight against the regime. The international intervention significantly weakened Gaddafi's position and provided crucial support to the opposition. Internal conflicts within Libya exacerbated the situation. As the rebellion intensified, armed opposition groups emerged across the country, leading to a full-scale civil war. The divisions within Libyan society and the absence of a strong central authority further contributed to Gaddafi's demise. The ensuing violence and chaos presented significant challenges for the stability and development of the country. The consequences of Gaddafi's downfall were profound. Libya was left in a state of political turmoil and institutional disarray. The power vacuum created by his overthrow led to a prolonged period of instability, with various factions vying for control. The absence of a unified government and security apparatus allowed extremist groups to thrive and further destabilize the country. The aftermath of Gaddafi's downfall has been marked by a deterioration in security, a decline in living standards, and a struggle to rebuild state institutions. In conclusion, Gaddafi's betrayal and downfall were shaped by a combination of factors, including the Arab Spring, international intervention, and internal conflicts. While he had accomplished significant achievements for Libya, these were overshadowed by the political upheaval that followed. The consequences of his overthrow have had a lasting impact on Libya's stability and development. Understanding the complexities of Gaddafi's betrayal and downfall is crucial to grasping the challenges that Libya continues to face today. Conclusion. Muammar Gaddafi, the former leader of Libya, left behind a complex legacy that encompasses both significant achievements and a dramatic downfall. Despite the controversies surrounding his rule, it is essential to recognize the positive contributions he made to Libya's economic, social, and infrastructural development. Gaddafi's tenure witnessed remarkable economic advancements, with increased oil revenues enabling investments in critical infrastructure projects and the development of various industries. His focus on diversifying the economy and reducing dependence on oil created employment opportunities and improved living standards for many Libyans. Additionally, Gaddafi's social reforms aimed to create a more egalitarian society, championing gender equality and empowering marginalized groups through land reforms. Furthermore, Gaddafi prioritized healthcare and education, establishing free and comprehensive systems accessible to all Libyan citizens. The improved healthcare services and educational opportunities resulted in higher literacy rates, better access to medical care, and equipped the younger generation with essential skills for personal growth and national development. Infrastructure development was a cornerstone of Gaddafi's vision for Libya. Initiatives such as the Great Man-Made River Project and the expansion of transportation networks brought significant improvements to the country's water supply, connectivity, and overall development. These infrastructural advancements laid the foundation for sustained economic growth and social progress. Moreover, Gaddafi played a pivotal role in promoting African unity, advocating for a united Africa and supporting the formation of the African Union. His financial assistance and collaboration with other African nations aimed to strengthen the continent's solidarity and self-reliance, forging stronger ties and cooperation among African states. However, despite these achievements, Gaddafi's rule was marked by betrayal and a dramatic downfall. The Arab Spring uprising, international intervention, and internal conflicts resulted in his overthrow, plunging Libya into a state of instability. The consequences of his downfall have had a lasting impact on the country, leading to political turmoil, institutional disarray, and a decline in living standards. In conclusion, the legacy of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya is a complex one. While his achievements in economic development, social reforms, healthcare, education, infrastructure, and promotion of African unity cannot be overlooked, they were overshadowed by the betrayal and downfall he faced. Understanding the complexities of Gaddafi's rule and the subsequent challenges faced by Libya is crucial to comprehending the nation's present situation. The path forward for Libya lies in addressing the aftermath of Gaddafi's downfall, rebuilding institutions, and fostering stability to unlock its true potential for progress and prosperity.